This conference will now be recorded.
You guys ready?
Yep.
Okay, everybody, it's August 25th, 2020, and we are holding a special meeting of the Dayton Town Council. We are holding this meeting by phone because of the COVID-19 pandemic and in compliance with the governor's executive orders and back on the track plan, which allows local governments to meet remotely and to determine their own policies. This meeting is open for the public to listen in real time by a recording afterward, and an option has been provided for residents to speak during the meeting on agenda items. Present on the phone line are Attorney Reed Murtaugh, Clerk Treasurer Michelle Freeward, Marshall Scott Taylor, the Town Manager Mark Harlow, and members of the Town Council who now identify themselves by roll call. Jen?
Here.
Stan?
Here.
Carla? You here, Carla?
Here. Sorry.
Okay. Ashley?
Here.
And Ron Kohler, I'm here. So all 5 council members are present. Okay, first on the agenda is our town attorney. Reed, you want to take it over?
Yes, thank you, Ron. Yes, I'd like to request permission for Ron, as the town council president, to sign an addendum to my fee agreement with the town. The fee agreement has already had a provision in it that allows me to, in my discretion, hire outside legal service providers as long as I notify you and get the permission of the town council president. Up to this point, I've only had to use that one time. I think then that was just when I couldn't make a meeting. I had Attorney Shannon Starr cover. Other than that, I've handled everything myself. So this is really just an internal matter, but the person that I have chosen to perform additional work for the town will not be an employee of Murtaugh Law. She'll be working on a contract as needed basis. So that's why I'm asking for this consent. The document that I'll ask Ron to sign says that as a Town of Dayton Council President, I've been informed by Murtaugh Law and my attorney, Reed D. Murtaugh, that attorney Kayla Grimes will receive confidential information and perform legal work for the Town of Dayton. I've been informed that all of the time dedicated to my case will be billed according to the Murtaugh Law fee agreement. The Town of Dayton is still responsible for reimbursing all billed time and expenses, regardless of whether the work is performed by attorneys and staff at Murtaugh Law or by attorney Kayla Grimes. After full disclosure, I've consented to this arrangement. Basically, I'm just going to have Kayla help me out with some legal research and some of the behind-the-scenes legal work that I do. I'll still be attending all the public meetings and handling client communications with the town council, just to handle the work for the town of Dayton in addition to my practice. This is just something that I need and would be very similar to hiring an associate in a law firm. If I did that, then none of this would be required. That person would be an employee. You know, I know that you've worked with other firms in the past where you worked with multiple attorneys in the firm. It's just a little different because of the nature of the relationship. I found Kayla through Latitude Legal, which helps solo practitioners like myself find attorneys that would be a good fit for a contract as needed basis. So she does have some prior municipal law experience. I think we'll certainly be able to handle some of the legal research and things that I would have her doing. Everything that she does will be reviewed by me.
Okay, Reed,
Yep.
do you need a motion to hire her, or do you need a motion to just have me sign the contract so you can hire her?
Yep. I only need a motion for you to sign the addendum to the Murtaugh Law Fee Agreement to allow her
Okay.
to perform work on behalf of the town of Dayton.
Okay, I make a motion to let Ron Kohler sign the addendum to hire Caleb Grimes to help with him on the work, attorney work for the town of Dayton.
I second.
I second it.
Okay, we have a motion by Ron and a second by Jen first. Open this up for discussion. Anybody have any comments? Okay, hearing no comments, we'll have a roll call vote. How do you vote, Jen?
Yes.
How do you vote, Carla?
Yes.
How do you vote, Stan?
Yes.
How do you vote, Ashley?
Yes.
And Ron, I vote yes, so it's 5-0 to go ahead and sign this contract and get her to help Reed. Okay, anything else, Reed?
Nope. Thank you very much.
Okay, next on the agenda is about hiring Steve Brock and okaying the agreement. So Steve, who's worked for the town before, can look into our utilities, the water and wastewater. So we have the data determined that if there's anything that we can do to lower our utility rates, as I and other members of the council feel we should do everything we can to give the citizens in this town a break. So we need to have that study done first for that reason, for other reasons. But so I make a motion to hire Steve Brock to do our study on our utility accounts on the water and the wastewater, and that'll be $6,000 each study, which is about normal what's been done in the past. I think last time we brought this up at a meeting before, I think it was done 7 or 8 years ago, and I think it cost us $5,000 or so then. But we're long overdue for this, so I make that motion.
I second the motion.
Okay, we got a motion by Ron to hire Steve Brock firm to do rate studies for water and wastewater utilities. We have a second by First Stan. So I'll take a roll call vote. Jen, how do you vote?
Yes.
Carla, how do you vote?
Yes.
Stan, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ashley, how do you vote?
Yes.
And Ron, I vote yes. So it's 5-0 to hire Steve Brock to do our rate studies. Okay.
Ron, I do have a question,
Yeah.
and maybe I just missed it. But is there a time frame on when it'll start, and then how long each of those studies would take?
I
Are
think
they done concurrently? Are they separately?
I think he said that he would start on them within the next week or so, and I'm not sure what he said about how long it'll take. I think it takes 2 or 3 weeks to do these studies. At least he'll have to come in and get a lot of information from Michelle and stuff, and and get all the information from her, and then he'll go digest it, put it in the report. So
That's fine. I was just curious how long
yeah.
studies you did before my time, so I was just curious.
And he knows about our town. He's done it for the last 20 or 25 years for this town. The town has always hired him to do these rate studies, so he knows what's going on. And okay, next on the agenda, Jen, do you want to do the approval of the adjustment reports?
Sure. Did anybody have any questions about any of the utility adjustment reports from March, April, May, June, or July? Okay. Can we do a motion just to approve all of them, or do we need a separate motion for each month?
I think you should do a separate motion for each month.
Okay. So I need a motion to approve the adjustment report for March.
I make a
I'll make a
motion to report for March.
I second it.
Okay, there's been a motion made by Stan and seconded by Ron to approve the adjustment report for March 2020. We'll take a roll call vote. Carla?
Yes.
Ron?
Yes.
Stan?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
And I vote yes, so that passes 5-0. Okay, I need a motion for the adjustment report for April 2020.
I make a motion to adjustment report for April.
Second it.
Okay, there's been a motion made by Stan and seconded by Ron to approve the adjustment report for April 2020. We'll take a roll call vote. Carla?
Yes.
Ron?
Yes.
Stan?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
And I vote yes, so it passes 5-0. Okay, the adjustment report for May.
I make a motion to adjustment report for May.
Second it.
Okay, there's been a motion made by Stan and seconded by Ron to approve the adjustment report for May 2020. We'll take a roll call vote. Ron?
Yes.
Stan?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
Carla?
Yes.
And I vote yes, so it passes 5-0. Okay, I need a motion for the approval of the June 2020 adjustment report.
I make a motion to approve the June 2020 report.
Second it.
Okay, there's been a motion made by Stan and seconded by Ron to approve the adjustment report for June 2020. We'll take a roll call vote. Ron?
Yes.
Stan?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
Carla?
Yes.
And I vote yes, so that passes 5-0. And finally, I need a motion for the approval of the adjustment report for July 2020.
I make a motion for the adjustment report for July 2020.
Second it.
Okay, there's been a motion made by Stan and seconded by Ron to approve the adjustment report for July 2020. We'll take a roll call vote. Ron?
Yes.
Stan?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
Carla?
Yes.
And I vote yes, so that also passes 5-0. Real quick, before I turn the meeting back over to Ron, we weren't able to get the claims, so we won't be approving anything tonight. The bills, like utilities and attorney bills, can be paid ahead of time, ahead of approval, according to our ordinance, but nothing else can be paid until we are provided the invoices and we meet to approve them. Also, on the date of the last meeting, Michelle put the following documents in our mailboxes: minutes for the meetings dated January 2nd, 8th, and 15th, April 7th, and June 3rd, 8th, and 30th. Still missing are minutes from March 9th, May 13th, June 10th, and 15th, and July 13th and 22nd. Also, we have the appropriation reports for March, April, May, June. We have July's that she gave us at the last meeting, and we received the revenue reports for March, April, May, and June, and we have July. And then finally, we received the fund reports from March through June in our mailbox after the last meeting, and we received July's fund report in our packet. Unfortunately, we are still missing the bank reconciliations, so we can't approve any of the reports I just listed until we have the bank recs and the months have been closed. So when the bank recs are finished, we'll need the final check register, or it might be called the APV transaction list for the closed months, because that goes into the appropriation reports and then flows into the fund report. And then on the revenue side, we can't be sure the revenue report's correct until we have the bank recs and we verify that the total equals the fund report total. So to do justice to our internal controls, we have to be able to verify the information on each of the reports. So all that being said, I'll turn the meeting back over to Ron.
Okay. And I talked to Susie Bass today, Jen, and she's done 2018. She'll have in a couple of weeks before the next meeting, she'll have the reports done up to us so we can get these things completed. Okay.
Sounds good.
We'll have some corrections and additions to the minutes. So I guess we need to do them all individually, right, Reed?
Correct.
Okay. The first one on the minutes for January the 2nd, 2020. Anybody have anything to add to it or changes? If not, we need a motion to approve. I make a motion to approve the January 2nd minutes.
Second.
Got a motion and a second by Jen to approve the January 2nd meeting. Have a roll call vote. Jen, how do you vote?
Yes.
Carla?
Yes.
Stan?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
And Ron, I vote yes, so those pass 5-0. Okay, any changes on the minutes for January the 8th? Okay, no changes. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of January the 8th. Need a second. Okay, got a motion by Ron and a second by Jen for the minutes of January the 8th. How do you vote, Jen?
Yes.
Carla?
Yes.
Stan?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
And Ron, I vote yes, so that passes 5-0. Okay, does anybody have any changes for the January the 15th minutes? I have one addition I'd like to add to it. There was a letter that I read from Brent Skelton of MBAH, and I don't know if I gave it to Michelle or not, but I'll get it. And that needs to be added to the minutes. So I make a motion to approve the minutes for January the 15th with the addition of the letter from Brent Skelton of MBAH.
I second it.
Okay, we have a motion by Ron and a second by Stan. How do you vote, Jen?
Yes.
Carla?
Yes.
Stan?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
And Ron, I vote yes, so it passes 5-0. Okay, we have the minutes from April the 7th. Does anybody have any corrections or changes? Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from April the 7th.
I second that.
Second it.
Okay, motion by Ron and a second by Jen. How do you vote, Jen?
Yes.
Carla?
Yes.
Stan?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
And Ron, I vote, so it's 5-0 to approve the minutes of April 7th. Okay, we have the minutes of June the 3rd. Does anybody have any changes? Okay, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of June the 3rd, but I'd like to add, there's nothing that I made a statement from Ron Kohler about Harrison Street paving. I would like Michelle, when she put those in there, they're recorded, so they're on the recording. So I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes with the addition of the statement that I said about Harrison Street.
I second
I
that.
second it.
Okay, we got a motion and a second by Ron and then Stan or Jen. How do you vote, Jen?
Yes.
How do you vote, Carla?
Yes.
Stan?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
And Ron, I vote yes, so it passes 5-0. Okay, we have a June 8th executive session. Any additions or corrections? Okay, hearing none, make a motion for June 8th executive session minutes approved.
Second
I
that.
second it.
Okay, got a motion and a second by Jan for the June 8th executive session. How do you vote, Jan?
Yes.
Carla?
Yes.
Stan?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
And Ron, I vote yes, so it passes 5-0 on that, on June the 8th. Okay, we have the minutes for June the 8th council meeting. Any changes or corrections? Okay, hearing none, I make a motion to approve the June 8th council meeting minutes.
I second it.
Okay, we got a second, motion by Ron and a second by Stan. How do you vote, Jen?
Yes.
Carla, how do you vote? Stan?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
And Ron, I vote yes, so that passes 5-0. Okay, one last one I think is June the 30th executive session. Anybody got any changes on that or corrections? Okay, I make a motion to approve the June 30th executive session minutes.
Second it.
That.
Okay, we got a motion by Ron and a second by Stan. How do you vote, Jen?
Yes.
Carla?
Yes.
Stan?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
And Ron, I vote yes, so it's 5-0. Okay, we have I think I sent you guys an email this afternoon. We have this wasn't on the agenda. The guy just called me. He's a Jacob Harlow. He works for Senator Braun in Indiana here, and they need they're requesting to use the town hall for an informal one-on-one, two-on-two greeting on September the 17th. They said they would they'd only have 1 or 2 or 3 people in there at a time, wear masks and do social distancing, and wanted to know if that was okay. But they needed to know at our meeting tonight because they have to send out letters a week or so ahead. So I'd asked to wait till the next meeting, but he needs to know sooner than that. So my opinion is, in the past, we've had the sheriff's people running up there and using the office. We've had the different organizations and the people counting the population and everything. So whatever you guys think.
I think it's very important to have them meet. I've had to use some government people to get some help with medical issues because of my Navy retirement. And when they come around, it was very, very helpful for the local people not to have to go someplace else.
Okay.
I think we ought to allow the use of the town hall for this purpose.
Good. I agree with that. Anybody else?
Sounds good to me.
Go ahead.
I guess my only question would just be, it's through the daytime, so the town hall would be open anyway, right?
Yes.
Okay. I think that's a good idea then.
Yeah. Okay. Somebody want to make a motion?
I
I
make
make
a
a
motion.
motion, we let Senator Braun's people use town hall.
I second
I'll
it.
second the motion.
Okay, we got a motion by Stan to let Senator Braun's people use town hall, second by Ashley. How do you vote, Jen?
Yes.
Carla, how do you vote?
Yes.
Stan?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
And I vote yes. So it passes 5-0, and I'll contact them tomorrow or something. And then I'll tell them to get with you, Michelle, for the exact times and everything. So, okay. Comments from the council?
I'd like to make a comment.
Okay, go ahead, Ashley.
I would like to, when Steve Brock looks at the water rates, I would like for him to look at options where maybe we can add automatic watering credits, much the same as Lafayette and other larger towns do. And I would also like for him to take a look at the way we charge for basic or minimum water use, to explore other possibilities, like, maybe lowering the minimum rate and also lowering the gallonage usage on the minimum rate, or maybe billing like other utilities do, as far as electric companies and such, where they have a kind of a line charge, whether you use anything or not, and then so your minimum is actually lower. For instance, if you're on vacation or something, or a snowbird or something like that, you'd have a lower minimum charge. But I think that's something we need to talk to him about when he's doing the water rates. That's all I got.
Ashley, I think that's good, because we talked before about, instead of this 3,000 gallon minimum, down to 1,000, like a lot of towns do, because a lot of our residents don't use the 3,000. And I did mention that to him already, to be thinking about it. So, but that's a good idea. Anybody else? Okay. Anybody else got any comments from the council?
I do not.
Okay. Stan, Carla?
Nope.
Oh.
Okay. The only thing, I don't have much. One thing is, Michelle, by the next meeting, we have still quite a few reports out there. I think there's like 6 more minutes that we need done. And if you could get them to us a week ahead, it'd be nice. It takes a while to go over these. Also, we need several more of these, the bills and the APV vouchers, so we can complete and do these claims. And as I emailed you, I'm willing to come up in there after hours and go through them and not remove anything from the town hall, so that it's a compromise, so we can get moving on these and just get all these claims okayed and get checks to people and everything like that. So I guess you and I can talk about that or something in the next day or two, and hopefully come to a compromise. So has Malacus had, one thing for Michelle, has Malacus had any more bills, or how's he coming along? Has he been paying his bills? I mean,
he's paid up on everything but the inspections, and I sent you guys that letter that I sent him, and it's not been 30 days yet that he's got it.
Okay. I did want to say one thing about talking about Malacus. Out here, he had a organization put grass seed and everything along the church and down Dayton Road, and they leveled it really nice. They only scarified about 3/4 of an inch instead of 2 inches, and they didn't rake in the seed, but their contract called for 200 pounds per acre, which is 3.3 pounds per 1,000 square foot. And the national average is 6 to 8 pounds. And I checked this out also with Mike Smith. And so, but when I talked to their guys, they were only putting 150 pounds down, and actually, in my opinion, cheating Greg Malacus. And I called him, and so anyway, they're going to put more seed down to bring it up along the church and stuff, and property where it's thicker grass to bring it up to the national average. But we might want to consider in the future that we see that it's not between the town, but it's between the developer and the seeding people, to be sure they're at least putting something down that's comparable to what you should be for new lawn and new seeding. I did check the kind of seeds that go into it, and it was a pretty good mix. So anyway, that's all I got. So if nobody else has anything, we need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I second it.
Okay, we got a motion to adjourn by Jen and a second by Carla. How do you vote, Jen?
Yes.
Carla?
Yes.
Stan?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
And I vote yes, so the meeting's adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
All right.
Night.